right, let's see if YouTube's up and going. Nothing ever starts all at the same time. It's all like one, usually TikTok's the first one. And then Facebook, then YouTube, it seems like. But let me get them going up here. And like I said, as you come in, be sure and let me know you're there, how you're doing today. Do you have any plans for the weekend? But we're doing great here. I'm going to drop our camera down just a little bit here. There we go. All right, but like I said, we're going to be just making something real simple and quick today. Anybody can do this. And it's just an everyday door swag. And I've got this spray that I'm always talking about whenever I'm talking about greenery. This is a Hobby Lobby spray. Hobby Lobby for out there. I love this spray. Don't ever discontinue it. But it's a great bang for your buck. And it's a eucalyptus spray primarily. It has the long blade. It has the kind of rounded. It has some ferns in here. Some kind of a berry, and then a little filler flower here. But it's just a lot going on for a good price. I'm always talking about, nowadays, back in the old days, plastic greenery kind of got a bad rap. You think about what your grandma had growing up, but if you're my age anyway. But nowadays, there's a lot of great options out there. They're more realistic looking for the most part. And the advantage for plastic greenery over some other options is that it lasts longer, especially if you're using it outside. But I always recommend pairing it with a silk flower or a silk greenery. And it kind of takes some of that plastic look away from it. And that's exactly what they've done here. And we're going to use this as our base. I brought a couple of other things too. I've got some lamb's ear we might use. Some lamb's ear we might throw in there. I've got maybe even some magnolias. I don't know. Depends on how fancy we want to get. I love magnolias, especially these. And I'm starting to run low. I bought these locally. And I bought every single one of them that they had whenever I found them because they're so realistic and so pretty. I'll show you over here, and then I'll come over here. Aren't they pretty? This one's got a little fuzzy on it, but aren't those realistic looking? And then we're going to put some ribbon on it. I've got one of my favorites, every day. It looks like burlap, but it's actually linen. And it has the gingham edge to it. And then I'm going to pair it with a 1.5 black gingham. So, all right. Who's over there on YouTube? Let me know. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Phyllis. Carol. Thank you for being here, guys. Hey, Lori. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, first thing I wanted to show you, this has a really thick stem on it. And so typically when I'm going to cut this, I have to use my bolt cutters. If you got a stem cutter, it'd probably cut through this. I just use my bolt. I don't have a stem cutter. I just use bolt cutters. Lot more economical. But I did go ahead and I cut it into a couple of different pieces. All I did was I bent it just up here at the top. It's like right there. And I separated this part out from this little part, okay? And I do this a lot just to make something real simple. And you could do this easily for some double doors. But I've got the two pieces now. One of them's a little bit bigger than the other. And like I said, I already cut it up. A lot of times you can just raise those up, but this one is too stiff where you can't twist it around where everything's pointing the right direction. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take I've got some zip ties here. Let me get it kind of lined up here. I've got some zip ties. I'm just going to connect these. If it was laying on the table, it'd be a lot easier, but I'm going to try and do it standing up here. So how is everybody today? We finally have a no rain day. We've been getting rain almost every single day. Sun shining, so it looks like it's going to be a good day. Prayers to everybody that's down south of us. In my hometown, in fact, they actually have some roads and bridges that got washed out. We got so much rain in a short amount of time. All right, I got to put this down just to get this first one going. All I'm doing is connect it with the zip tie right now. So, hey, Bonnie, how are you? Yes, they are lovely magnolias. They are very pretty. Oh, thank you for following, Melissa. Real Starbucks Queen is happy as Friday. Like I said, Fridays have a whole new meaning for me nowadays. I used to have to work a lot of weekends, but not anymore. I'm trying to get this where I've got it lined out. I think I've got it on there backwards. Let me see. I'm just going to twist it around till everything's facing the same direction. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to put one up here, and then I'm going to put another zip tie down here on the bottom. Be a lot easier to do now that I've got at least one of them connected. So who all out there is doing any craft shows this fall? I don't do craft shows anymore, but what I was thinking when I decided to make this today, I thought this would be a fabulous design to make for a craft show. You could whip up a lot of them in a hurry. I'm just going to take my zip ties and tighten this up. But you could do a lot of them in a hurry, and it's something that is going to appease a lot of taste. Like I said, it's going to be kind of everyday, kind of neutral. You can leave it up all year long. But yeah, I don't do craft shows anymore. There's really not a big thing around here where people are really looking for a bargain. They don't want to pay, prices like what we use for some of our designs around where I'm at. I'm sure other businesses might be successful, but not for like a higher end wreath making business. It's just not profitable. And craft shows are a lot of work, you guys. What state am I in? I'm in Indiana. I'm actually on the, well, now I'm on the western border, about a third of the way up on Indiana. Right? The Wabash River is just a few miles away. And that's where it turns into Indiana. So. Oh, yeah, our first one, Labor Day weekend. And a big one is November. Well, that's great. Those are times when people are looking for things to do. Well, good luck to you. Okay, so I'm just fluffing this out right now. And I'm going to go ahead and put something so I can hang it up here. But see, it's not all that big. It's just something that you could even use this inside door, like on a bathroom door, or maybe on a hallway, maybe either side of a fireplace, something like that. But I'm just going to take a little bit of rustic wire. If you're not familiar, Hobby Lobby calls this grapevine wire, but it's just a thick, kind of a heavy grade or heavy gauge wire, and it's covered in some jute like material. So I'm going to come down here and we'll tie it around. I got way too big of a piece, but that's okay. Better too much than too little. I'm just wrapping this around and making a hanger. And I'll take it in the back and we'll just twist it a couple of times. pin stuff up, make sure nobody's going to get poked with it. But it's not going to be that heavy, so it doesn't have to be that substantial like what I would put with a wreath, but I still like to use the rustic wire because it just looks kind of a little bit more professional than a pipe cleaner. Although I did use a pipe cleaner for a lot of years, so don't discount that. So, you know what? That's going to fall backward. Let me put something here. I just got this board here that I put back here when I'm working on my swags, so it doesn't fall backwards. So got everything fluffed out. Now let's go ahead. I'm going to make a bow. So good morning, Debbie. Oh, thank you, Liz, for the stars. I really appreciate that. Hey, Brooklyn from New Jersey. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, Christina says she sells more of her smaller items at the craft shows. Yes, yes, I agree. I agree. Oh, Carol says it's too scary, too scary. Yeah, yeah, and people can be brutal, you guys, and I don't know why people have to be that way. I mean, be nice, right? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead now while I've got this up, and really, you guys, you could just put a bow on here and leave it. Seriously. Oh, thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, so let me go ahead. I'm just gonna make a bow here. I want to leave the tails kind of long because it's gonna be part of the design. And let me make sure everybody can see. There we go. But I always say, people are always asking me, well, how big do you make the bow? Well, until you know what you're making, you don't know how big the bow is. Doesn't matter what size grapevine you use or what. I always have to see what I'm making and what my intent is to then decide where, how big the bow needs to be. So I like to just always say I'm gonna try it on for size, just like a pair of jeans. And we're gonna come over here, and I think that looks about right. And I'm just gonna hand make it here real quick. And I'm thinking probably 4 loops of this. And if you need handmade bow making help, I've got a lot of tutorials available. I don't have any good ones on TikTok because they won't, I can only do it in 3 minutes, and that's not long enough really. But on my YouTube channel and on Facebook, if you need any help with it. We just did a big one, handmade bow tutorial on Tuesday, I guess it was. Okay, let me see if that's going to work. I think I'm going to put one more loop. I love this ribbon. I just dropped that. Hang on, let's do that over. All right, now I'm gonna make, let's see. I want my, anyway. I'm just thinking here. I want my 3 loops to be on the bottom, but we'll be able to do that. That's all right. And I'm gonna leave this tail until I get my other ribbon going. So. Does anybody have any fun plans this weekend? I have a feeling I'm going to be working all weekend. We're getting ready to get into the, the crunch here with the fall season, and I'm already way, way far behind. All right, I think I'm just going to put probably 2 loops of the... No, I'm not. I'm going to put 4 loops of the gingham. It's going to be a bigger bow than I anticipated. All right, and I'm just gonna leave that connected to the ribbon bolts until I decide how long we want those tails. And this, you guys, this is the point where people look at their bow and they say, I can't make a handmade bow. But look at this. Does it look, it doesn't look like anything, but it's going to, I promise, okay? I promise. That's why we use wired ribbon only in our bows. And I really want, I think I want my 3 loops on the bottom. Yes. That one loop looks kind of long, so we're just going to fix it. But yeah, don't get frustrated when you're making bows. Just hang in there. Keep adjusting till you get it the way you like it. And they don't have to look perfect. In fact, I've had customers tell me they would rather have a kind of a casual looking bow than something that looks like it came out of a factory. So, all right, so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to connect it to my swag now. Just taking the pipe cleaners and running it around the spine here. Whoops. All right, let me find my scissors. Tacos family on Saturday. That sounds good. We go in spells. We want to have tacos and Mexican, there for a while, and then you get tired of it, then you want something else. But that sounds good. I haven't had that for a while. All right, we're going to keep on working with our bow, like I said, until we like it. Don't give up. Fluff out your bow loops. A little bit sideways there. And if you decide at this point you've got too many loops, you can always trim one and just make it into a tail, or you can cut it off. I'm just going to trim that for right now. We'll come back and we'll straighten that up after I get some more done on it. All right, but like I said, if you wanted to, you could just just put this swag together like this, do a bow. You'd want to fix it a little better than this, but do a bow and be done. I mean, how pretty is that? I think that one bow loop, I still didn't get it small enough. Okay, so I brought some magnolias. I kind of half thought about maybe putting one of those in, but I really don't like the greenery up against it. This greenery is more of a blue green. If you can see that, it's more of a blue green. And this one's more of a green. And I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it really doesn't look all that good together. And I hate to sacrifice this whole stem just for the flower. So we'll save that for another project. But I don't like to mix my greens. This, we need to stay with the soft pastels, creamy color, that kind of thing, with the blue green. But I don't like to mix green and blue green. I'm still fussing with my bow. All right, since I'm not going to do that, I think I will go ahead and add a little bit of the lamb's ear. it also, I don't know if you can tell it on camera, but it's also a blue-green. But it's going to lighten this up just a little bit and give it another little bit of texture. So, and all I'm going to do, I'm just going to glue it. I'm just going to glue it to existing pieces. So I don't know how big of a piece I want here. Hey, Julie, happy Friday. Oh, thank you guys for following. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness, it's going to be 115 in Washington. Deborah, that's crazy. I didn't think you guys got that kind of weather. Wow. All right, I don't want too much of that up here. I'm going to trim this piece down. Just going to put that right down there in the middle. Again, I just want to add just a little bit of texture, a little bit of different look there. Put a little bit down here. It's the bad thing about these lambs here. They've got leaves going all willy-nilly different directions. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to get it laying right. I'm going to go ahead and trim this one. It's just kind of backwards. We'll save that. A little bit of glue. Actually, I'm going to trim off another little piece right here too. But you see what I'm talking about? Now it's all facing basically the same way. Otherwise, you've got leaves going at willy-nilly different directions. It just doesn't look right. And to insert this, I'm going up there right close to where the bow meets the greenery, and we're just gluing it in. If you feel like it's too loose, you can always take a little zip tie. Like I've got these little black ones that kind of blend in. You can always, I don't know if you can see those, you can always take those and go ahead and reinforce it a little bit. All right, give a little bit more. Actually, I feel like I want a kind of a long piece here too. Just to kind of fill it out just a little bit more. So I am going to take one of those zip ties and attach that. And of course, after you're done, I would come back here and I would secure everything. Make sure everything's in there secure, and then I would cover your mechanics. You can just take leftover lamb's ear pieces or some of the eucalyptus. And trim off part of the stem here. Just make sure you're cutting the right piece whenever you're cutting. But like right here, all I've got to do, this little piece of lamb's ear, I'll just cover that right up. I'm not going to do it yet because I'm not done, but that way your mechanics aren't showing. Kind of want my bow a little bit smaller though. I'm going to redo my bow. It's too big. Just a little bit bigger than I wanted. Oh, and I've got that lamb's ear up there. We'll take it off. All right. Hey, Ethel May. 31 degrees in in Alberta and British Columbia. We'll send some of that down this way. I think they need it in Washington. Yeah, they said it was going to be 115 degrees up there. That's crazy. I'm just taking my bow down about an inch. And some of these, if the creases don't come out, I can always go back with my steamer. And we'll just steam those out. Yeah, I like that better. All right. But don't be afraid to get in there and you decide you don't like something. Don't be afraid to change it up. Doesn't hurt nothing. And sometimes you don't have to totally redo it. I could have adjusted that if I wanted to, but it's just as easy just to go ahead and redo the whole thing. No further than we had gotten along here. Jean says, don't send it to the UK. Ethel May. All right, let's get this bow made over here. Okay, there we go. Like I said, I wanted my 3 loops on the bottom. And don't let this scare you. Seriously, don't let it scare you. Hey, Vanita. Good morning. Hey, Pauletta and Jamie. Thank you guys for being here. Jamie's wanting to know, when I list my bows to sell, how do I photograph them? And Jamie, when I was selling bows seriously, like that, I was really trying to grow my bows business. I would photograph them first. I had actually it's a wreath stand, a wreath. It just has a hook with it, a wreath stand. I would hang them from there, and I would photograph them from there. And then I would also put them on a sample wreath, just an empty, naked wreath, a grapevine wreath, just so that people could have an idea of the size of it. Now that's not my main focus, so I lay them down. If you saw my reel where I had a cardboard table. I just lay them down on that cardboard table and lay them flat and photograph them there. But it depends on what your focus is. Like I said, back when I was very first starting selling bows, I really wanted to grow that, and so I wanted my photos to be a little bit better. But now I just don't have time to do all that. All right, we're getting have to fuss with our bow again here. We got one tail that's way too long, or one loop that's too long, 2 loops that are too long. But anyway, I hope that answers your question, Jamie. If you don't have a big fancy table or something like that to photograph with, all I used was a cardboard box. I covered it with paper that looked like wood, and I covered a cardboard box and made me a table out of that. So sometimes you got to think outside the box. As far as using your props, you don't want to spend all your money on buying fancy props, and you don't need them. I just really boogered up that bow there. The linen ribbon was a little bit more forgiving of my creases from being in that pipe cleaner, but I'm just trying to get all the creases out of this gingham now. Okay, all right, now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and trim some tails on here, or trim the tails here now, because I'm pretty sure what I want to do with the length of them. Just trim that about right there. One side longer than the other. I'm just going to dovetail them and just kind of let them just kind of wrap around the swag there. You guys ever have trouble talking and doing at the same time? Seems like some days words are harder than others, right? All right, let's go ahead and curl this. Get on the other one here. And this one we'll do a little bit shorter. And we can always come back to and put some tails up on the top if we wanted to. All right, now let's go back and start replacing that lamb's ear. Got a little bit distracted there with that. What did I do with that one piece? I want to put this back up in here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a work in progress. It's not done yet, but I thought the white, I've been wanting to replace that for a couple of years. The white just, it really bothered me. It was just like too stark or something. You would think white would be a good background to have, but it just really bothered me. It's just like too busy. All right, now let's get back to business. Get a little bit more of the lamb's ear. And again, I've got some that are backwards. I'm going to go ahead and trim those off. We can use those someplace else, where it's laying a little bit better. I feel like I need a little piece down here. And this piece, I'm going to zip tie it to the other piece, to one of the eucalyptus stems here. And again, if it shows, all you got to do is cover it with another leaf. You could also use a clear zip tie, but I've just got these black ones right now. think I need one more piece of lamb's ear up there. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And it's so easy, you guys. Like I said, we could have stopped with just the initial swag. You didn't have to put the lamb's ear here. Seriously. I like it better coming in toward it. And I've got one of these lamb's ear pieces that's kind of boogered up. I'm going to cut it off. Just has a big spot in the middle of it. We'll do away with that one. All right, now I'm going to put a little bit of something there in the center. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to steal a couple of these little pieces down here where it's pretty full. I want to put a little bit of it in the bow. And you just try it on till you decide how you like it. You want it to look natural coming out of the bow. And if you look and you got one that doesn't hang right, like this one right here, I don't like the way it sits. We'll use it next. Got better ones that can take its place. It's just kind of deformed there. Maybe just like that. And then we'll sneak up, since we've got some lamb's ear other places, we'll go ahead and put some in here too. Let's see. Put it right back here. And you just play, you know, there's no right or wrong place to put it. You just keep on fussing with it until you get it where it looks right to you. You probably need a little bit over there. Oh, thank you, Nancy. You got a wreath that would match it. And that's it. It'd be a real simple, you know, kind of upsell if you've got a wreath that would match this. I mean, why not offer it to them? They could have the, you know, the wreath on the door, and they could have this, like on our front porch, we've got like a pillar off to the side. I could see hanging that on that pillar, and then have the wreath on the door back behind. I do that at Christmas time. I put a swag wreath on that pillar, and then I've got a matching wreath on my door. And it'd be a great upsell. And especially if you're doing a craft show, you could set it up that way so the customer would be able to see that. Intake 1965, yes, I do sell. I've got an Etsy shop. it's adorabledecodecor.com, and I've got it actually linked in my bio. But yes, I've got everything's for sale, including this. I've got a listing for this. I usually, whenever I'm making stuff live, I usually will put a listing. It just says made on live video, and then people can purchase it right there if they want. Okay, I think that's enough. And like I said, I just wanted to show you something real simple. You can whip up real quick. Like I said, using this spray, I'm always talking about this spray from Hobby Lobby. Um, and I just trimmed it down. If you find a spray you can like, or that you like, a lot of times you don't have to cut it like what I did with this one. But the stem is so heavy. Um, or you could actually even, you could put two of them together. If you had wanted to make a really long one, just put two of the sprays together and put the bow in the center. That'd be pretty tall. Maybe like that. But yeah, doesn't have to be hard. All right. You have a few of those? Great. Hey, thank you, Elizabeth. Carol's asking, I mentioned working all weekend. Do you add items to Etsy as you make them or wait and stagger listings? And no, I don't wait. Once I make something, I list it. Well, in a perfect world, I do. But no, I don't stagger them. If I don't list it, it's because I've just ran out of time. But no, I know some people advise that, but I think it's people more who are not active, busy in their shop every single day. And I am. I'm in there every day, tweaking, fixing things and that kind of thing. So, but if you don't have time, like back when I worked full time outside the home, I didn't have time every day to work on my Etsy shop. So then, in that instance, that might be a good strategy because Etsy looks to see who's active and working on their shop. But no, once I get something made, I list it. And my work's going to be doing a lot of computer stuff, projects I've got in the works. I'm going to be doing a course. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to do a course where we're going to make a wreath. We're going to make a deco mesh wreath. We're going to make a grapevine wreath, a swag, and then probably an arrangement. But I haven't decided, and you guys, maybe you can help me. I was going to make a fall course, but it seems like people are doing things earlier this year even than before. Um, if I offered something like that, would you rather see Christmas or would you rather see fall? Christmas and winter, I should say. But it'd be fall, maybe Halloween. Oh, thank you, Real Starbucks Queen. Thank you so much. Thank you guys all for following. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much. Jamie says she missed the beginning. Did I use one stem or two? I just used one on this one. But you could certainly, like I said, if you wanted something larger, you could certainly put two of them together. Would like that on your garage lanterns? Yes, yes. I do that for Christmas. I don't usually decorate it too much for fall on my garage, but yeah, I put two of these similar swags, only they're red, it's Christmas, red velvet. And you guys know what? I use Sam's ribbon. I bought this 4 or 5 years ago. I've used those for all these years, and it's still I'll be able to use them again this year. They still look great. Sam's ribbon. So don't discount that. Oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you so much for all the hearts. All right, so you guys let me know on that. Some say Christmas, some say both. Yeah, Carol says maybe Christmas. All right, and everybody let me know. Oh, thank you guys all for following. Thank you so much. Christmas and winter. Okay. All right. All right. Does anybody have any questions? And as I said, if you're interested, I do have this listing listed in my Etsy shop. It's just listed as made on live video. And you can purchase it there and I'll get it to you. I usually, after the video, I always go back and, you know, do some troubleshooting if there's, you know, places I need to fix and address those. But yeah, everybody's thinking Christmas, looks like. What do you guys on TikTok think? Christmas or fall? Oh, you got a box of the Sam's ribbon? Good for you. Thank you so much, Fredna. Thank you. You can have a great day too. Open to anything that covers upcoming holidays. Looks like Christmas because it's going to be probably about 2 or 3 weeks. Probably closer to 3 weeks. So, but we'll be doing that because it'll take me a little bit to get that. I'm just looking here on my camera. Sometimes I can see things better on my camera. It looks like I need to fluff this out just a little bit. But I'll probably make this a little bit more full. Maybe put some tails up here. So, all right. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day. Stay safe, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.